tse kgositsile. As for me, the roads to you lead from any place. Woman, dancer of steel, mother, daughter, sister of my young years, the roads to you lead from any place I am. I do not know if you hollered in delirium like an incoherent dotard. I do not know if you gasped for the next breath, gagging, fighting to hold your life in. I do not know if you took your last breath with slow resignation, but this I know. I dare not look myself in the eye peeled red. With despair and impotent regret, I dare not look at myself in the ear groaning under these years and tears. I dare not mourn your death until I can say without the art of eloquence, today we move, we move. As for me, I will never again see the slow sadness of your eye. Though it remains fixed and talks through a grave I do not know. I teeter through the streets of our anguish, through this incontinent time referent, and when I try to scream vengeance, my voice limps under the cacophony of them. Whose tongue is glued to the bloodstains in the imperial monster's hallways and appetite. As for me, the roads to you lead from any place. Though I will never again know the morning odor of your anxious breath. Don't let the sun shine in your eyes, my child. We do not do those things. Though I will never again know your armpit odor before your ready for work mask, though I will never again see the slow sadness of your smile under the sun, woman, daughter, mother, sister, the slow sadness in your eye remains fixed and talks. Even here where the amber bandages of the sun kiss the day before they disappear beyond these white hooded mountains and appetites. Malibongwe.
The value and significance of family are evident in communities throughout the world, both as building blocks of society and as a space for the provision of emotional, physical, and collective social support for its members. And ways of communicating with one another are one of the most important components of our culture as Africans. Although we adapt to modern means of living, our values and beliefs remain unchanged. In all societies, the family is a fundamental unit. It is a cohesive unit which ideally provides economic, social, and psychological security to all its members. It is important to emphasize that this system, with dominance of the elders as a safe for the society, has a relatively high degree of social control on the individual, especially the youth. In African culture, the man is not only married to his wife, but her entire family, vice versa. Roles and responsibilities are at times classified by gender. The African family operates as a primary institution. This refers to the mother, father, children, uncles, aunts. The family is nucleic in the family structure. A lot has happened since the time before colonialism and apartheid. Many ideologies and means of living have been altered. The family structures that exist today are not the ones that were lived many years ago. In the discussion, we should explore everyone's understanding of the African primary institution and how it has been broken down. We would like to know from the panelists which points from the African primary institution are still practiced today and which have been left out. For the ones that have been left out, are they the reason for the mass destruction we are currently facing with issues such as xenophobia, gender-based violence, etc.? We understand the African primary institution to being the extended family, bongata, initiation for boys and girls. So we'd like to know firstly from our panelists, what is your understanding of the African family structure, and do you understand everyone's roles in it? So anyone who'd like to start may begin. The first question is basically, what is your understanding of the African structure and the role of everyone in it?
I feel like we all have at least some idea of how the African family kind of works. So I mean, you can just draw from that, speak about your own experiences, things you've observed, and yeah, take it from there.
Okay, I think in our families, the man, I don't know, okay, let me speak about my family. Like, the man is like the breadwinner. I don't know, automatically that's how it is. Like, a man's supposed to be taking care of the family. But since time has changed, like, that view is not the same anymore. It's just like, you know, it's all about like equality in a way.
Now I hear what you say. It's basically almost like everywhere. This is kind of like a worldwide concept that the man has to be the one that's breadwinning. The man has to be the one that's working, and the women are the ones that are supposed to be caretakers and such. Because eventually, the whole point of, I suppose, when it comes down to it, the whole point is that you guys are supposed to create a family. And once you create this family, it's proof that you're not only just extending your life in a sense, but you're extending the human life kind of thing. You're progressing, and that's pretty much, I think, the whole point. We're just always trying to progress forward, and we do that through having a structure that kind of, let's say, works. And it's a structure I believe that has worked for a long time, which is why it hasn't changed so much.
Okay, so I was talking from what Nelly and Toko has said. So if we look at the traditional or the original family structures of Africans, it's where it basically supports the gender segregation, basically, because you would have a family where it's a full mother, father, grandfather, everybody else, and they share roles within the households according to their abilities. Obviously, they'll take the heavier ones to the men and the lighter ones to the women. For whatever reason, I never get to understand. And then we get colonialism and all of this westernization that basically disintegrates everything, and you get structures where, like they said, men have to go there and provide. Then these build a lot of they break a lot of bridges in the growth and structures of children and basically it breaks those small minute things that we don't take into consideration when raising children.
Can I add something? Okay, I would like to open up by quoting these two people. Yanga Lusasa says that women have evolved so much that men are left behind. And Bessie Head in her novel, Maru, says that environment is everything and heredity is nothing. So on these points, we then look at how South Africa, in particular, has normalized broken families. What then happens is, yes, there would be an affair and then there is a child, but then there has to be provision. Then that's where the man comes in to say, you are the head of the house, you are supposed to provide. That's where a family disintegration happens. A man must go to the city to look for employment. And then what then happens if a woman is left with a child? Life has to move on, and also a man's life is captured in the workplace because a man has to work and send money home or provide for the family. Sometimes we don't even get time to go see our family. So I think the cultural disintegration starts there, whereby now there has to be migration to the city in order to look for employment. We all know that the city living arrangements are like sardines, so you can't have family living in a city without being like now. So I think now it's important to look at those factors that now, in terms of employment, how do we then make sure that looking for employment does not then disintegrate us from family structures, and also does not also part ways with our culture in between.
Now I hear what the previous speaker just said, Nate. Something that goes in my mind is that, with our African culture, and it's something that I always ask myself, why is it always, the jobs that the woman does never change, but the job that the man does in a family changes, so that, nowadays the women have to do everything. Let's say there's a ceremony. It's the woman who does everything. He's the one who cooks, cleans, make sure girls are welcome, everything, make sure girls who want to sleep there, they have bed. And then the men, what do they do? They just go to the crowd, sit with the men, drink beer, and everything is supposed to go the way it is.
Okay.
Linda, I have a different experience. The notion of a man being the provider, the breadwinner, is something I never grew up with, because I was raised by only women. So the women were the breadwinners, the women were the caregivers, they were the nurturers, they were the protectors, and they were basically the gods of the family to me, because that's what I've been exposed to. So it's only when I grew up and I went to school where they were like, a man is the one that leads the household. And also in church, that's the narrative they kept on drilling, that the man is the head. But in my household, the head was always the woman. So I think taking it from a sense of the family structure, since it's a man, a woman, and children, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to believe that is a European concept, because our African family structure includes our grandparents, our aunts, because we all lived in the same yard,
Yeah.
So there was no extended family. We were a family. We were a nuclear family like that, right? So because of colonialization as well as the apartheid, it forced our fathers to go work in the city, right? Which inherently led the women to be the ones that do all the roles, right? So I think the structure of a family with each generation and with everything that occurs in this world continuously changes. So it gets modified and it evolves. It doesn't remain that it's just the mother, the husband, and the wife, because now we've got LGBTQI communities where it's both fathers raising a child. That is now a different family structure that we must consider. So I think it's a matter of the family structure evolves with time based on the events that occur.
Kanti senzeni na Siko somandla asisabu senzele busweni benkosi senzeni na kutheni kunjena asisabu senzele busweni benkosi senzele busweni benkosi senzele busweni benkosi senzeni na senzeni Yeah. COVID-19. Be not proud as death is proud. You know, ever since this pandemic began, I've been asking myself, nje ubuntu bukhona nje la? Noma yini ubuntu? Phela ubuntu, I know it as a time where we all gather and come together and we celebrate. Where ngobona umakhelwane uthi sawubona namakhi kunjani, where you see each other and you kiss and you greet and you are jolly. Hey, into eyenzakala manje. Hayi iyangixaka impela. I mean, just by being in the same room with another person, I stand a chance of being infected or infecting another child. Hey. But then again, this is Ubuntu redefined. Yeah? If I put on my mask, if I stay home when I don't need to be outside, then I am saving a life. Then I am providing a service to my fellow brothers and sisters in the spirit of Ubuntu. Hey, yeah. But come to think of it, I don't understand. You know, I have a friend, ne? Umngani wami loyo. She planned this big birthday bride because my girl is turning 27 years old. And I understand birthdays, even for me, like they are the one time where I'm like, you know what, let's come together with my friends. But I told my brother, what, huh? And he's Angilab. Whoa! No, please understand, ne? We are living in times that we do not understand. So me being there is me putting everyone at risk, as well as my friend. She needs more years to come and celebrate her birthday. But I am going to put on my very best attire. I'm going to put on my trench coat, and then I am going to wear that beautiful dress of mine that hugs me in all the right places. And then, technology, Chomza, take out my cell phone and have a virtual party. I mean, I will have my snacks over there and I will drink my Oros on the ice. Because if you think about it, we are living in the fourth industrial revolution. Yes, where technology plays a big role in our everyday lives. I mean, they make surgeries even in the same room. So are you telling me that if my doctor is stuck in Dubai and they cannot fly back to La Emzant and I need a serious operation, that I'm gonna die? Hi, bossissy. Fourth industrial revolution, they do it on a virtual device. I mean, there's even hearts that are made by 3D printing. So don't tell me that I cannot celebrate a party in a virtual way. That way we keep safe and we still wash our eyes. You know, COVID-19, you may think that you have defeated us, but we will conquer you. COVID-19, be not proud, as death is not proud.
Lento kuthiwa umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu ithetha ukuthini? Ithetha ukuthini xa umuntu ari muthu ki muthu ka batho? Ngoba mina, I have never experienced this in my life. Ewe kuthiwa ikhona. Kodwa ke, how does this apply to me? Does this mean umuntu ngabantu when people only show acts of kindness for their personal gratification? and not for those who are in need. Is that ngumntu ngabantu mean? Or is it when humans perform acts of kindness just to pump up their ego? When a friend helps you and then the community knows, Haibo, friend, how did these people know that when you helped me? Hayi kaloku wena friendshipness. You must check my Facebook, my Twitter and my Instagram. I posted the post when I was giving you that thing. Haibo friend. So when you decide to help me, usenza the act of ngumntu ngabantu, you posted what you were giving me. Friend, injalo kaloku. People need to see when I am helping you. People need to see when I am helping the need. So I get to be seen. I'm in a certain level of status. And then you come back when you ask yourself, is this notion, is this statement of ngumntu ngabantu, muthu kibuthu kabathu, relevant? Especially nge-COVID yethu. I don't think so. Not at all. Maybe I may be wrong, but for me, never. Uyakhumbula elaa xesha wawungekho empilweni yam. Kwaye elaa xesha you never existed in my life. Ngelaa xesha kanye wena ubomi bam babuphileka ungekho. Ndithetha ngawe COVID, or ndithi COVID ngesiXhosa. Khona, why do we not have an African way to call you? Virus. Or is that Africans are not important, or that we are immune to this virus to a point that we cannot name you in a Xhosa way, or a Zulu way, or a Sotho way? Perhaps that is a topic for another day. Let me get back to who I am. I am a newly graduate, and I had a job. Well, a piece job, a temporary job before you came. You know, I was hustling. I was doing fine. You know, I had gigs. I'm an artist by nature. I was doing gigs and I was happy, very happy, and I was making money. But you came. Sorry me, because I'm an artist. I had to change my life. I had to go home. And now I'm at home with no money. But at least I have a roof over my head, clothes behind my back, food that I can eat, thanks to my mother. If it was not for my mother or my loving dad who sends me money sometimes, I only think about those who have nothing, those artists that have nothing or no family members. You know, it's sad, COVID. Hayi, lento ibuhlungu kodwa. Yazi COVID, uzimoshile impilo zabantu. All I am today, right now, is that I am a domesticated woman, an African woman who wakes up, clean, cook, do everything the household wants, clean after the dog, clean after the kids, everything. It is what I don't want to be, but I am.
Thulela le? Yeah. Ke a thulela. Okay, tloga e thulela foto. E tlo down. Tsona. Okay, didn't really want a carrot.
I'm cooking.
You're cooking. Yeah, di kenye ka mo, di tshele ka mo. Tshela hape ke mo. What is that? Yes. Okay, thank you ne. Last time. Na e seng kaofela.
No more on this case. Not another minute, not another penny. I'm gonna have with you. You hear me?
Motho ke motho ka batho. Jwang re na le mathata COVID-19. I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated because as a professional artist, my life was put on hold. It was destabilized. I feel like a prisoner in my own home. My own home because I can't move. I can't go anywhere. I cannot put bread on the table. Ikgathetse re hemaneng motho ke motho ka batho jwang re dila ka ditaba tsa COVID-19. As a professional artist, my life has been put on a standstill. It has been destabilized and disrupted by this pandemic. My livelihood had to stop because the performances and gigs were cancelled. I had to move back home and take up roles I wasn't prepared for. I was reminded that I was a woman. I had to be a mother to my niece because my sister had to go to work. I had to be a disciplinarian to my brother because my mom was ill. I cook, I clean, I'm just tired of being domestic. But then again, that is the only contribution I can bring to the household since I'm unemployed. Fortunately, we live in an information age where you get everything by just the click of a button. I can help my little brother with his schoolwork by logging onto platforms like YouTube and Google. I can find recipes. I don't even have to cook for my family. I can just order it online. So some roles that I have as a woman are cut short. I can help my niece, Habata Ditori. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the pandemic will not stop my life. COVID-19, be not proud, for death is not proud.
Webafazi sibuthwele ubunzima webafazi sibuthwele ubunzima webafazi senzeni na Thixo somandla asisabu senzeni ebusweni benkosi